Welcome friends, I am Dr. V.K. Chauhan, homeopathic physician. Revise with me homeopathic remedy Calcaria Carbonica. We are dealing with part 6, comparison of Allen's PQR with rubrics taken up from Reversed Kent Repertory, and this is a good text for BHMS students and interns. We are dealing with PQR1, leukophlegmatic, blonde hair, light complexion, blue eyes, fair skin, tendency to obesity in youth. And we find for leukophlegmatic no match. In reverse Kent repertory, blonde hair, no match was found. For blue eyes, no match was found. And for fair skin also, no match was found. However, we can get reference for obesity, generalities, and in generalities it is given in grade 1 representation for obesity. PQR 2 tells us about psoric constitution, pale, weak, timid, easily tired when walking. So this is a kind of representation in terms of miasmatic background, and from that point of view Calcaria Carb, according to Allen's, belongs to a psoric constitutional remedy. And we find corresponding rubrics, face pale, where we'll see it in face discoloration pale. Face discoloration pale lips is a second grade representation. PQR2, again we are going to see important points like weakness, easily tired when walking, and we get this rubric reference. Generalities, weakness, walking from aggravates, first grade representation. Generalities, weakness, walking, air opening is second grade representation. And other representation for weak neck we find genetics, weakness, exertion from slide, weakness, mental exertion, and second grade representation here is weakness, emission after, weakness, nervous, weakness, paralytic, weakness, perspiration from, weakness, stool after, and weakness, talking from. We go to the another part in PQR2, timid, and this is referred in mind section timidity 3+. Other rubrics which can be of some interest to you could be mild timidity, bashfulness. Second grade, mind touched aversion to being is third grade representation. PQR3 tells us about disposed to grow fat, corpulent, and this corresponding rubric we find in genetics, obesity 3+. PQR4, children with red face, flabby muscle, who sweat easily and take cold readily in consequences. So it is a constitutional kind of a symptom which represent certain physical attributes here, and those physical attributes we'll see how they are represented in reverse Kent repertory. Face red we'll find in face discoloration red, glowing red, second grade. Face discoloration red is third grade representation. For flabby, generalities, flabby feeling, an important rubric. Next one is generalities, relaxation of muscles. Both of these rubrics belong to first grade representation. Sweat, perspiration, you will find perspiration in general, daytime, morning, bed in all three rubrics, first grade representation we have. PQR4 tells us about children. What we have already seen, take cold readily is the point which we are going to take up at this particular slide. And representation is generality section, cold tendency to take, second grade representation. Others, they belong to generalities and they are cold in general aggravates, cold air aggravates, cold becoming after aggravates, cold wet weather aggravates, all first grade representation. And in the last, generalities, cold becoming aggravates is the second grade we find rubric in Reversed Kent Repertory. Friends, let us go to PQR5, large head and abdomen, fontanelles and sutures open, bones soft, develop very slowly. So this is a kind of a diathesis of Calcaria Carb patient. And in RKR, Reversed Kent Repertory, we find large head representation in the head section, head large, second grade representation. Large abdomen is first grade representation in abdomen enlarged children's. Open fontanelles, head open fontanelles, bone soft, we get generalities, softening bone and develops very slowly. Bones develop very slowly, we'll see in teeth, dentition slow. Generalities, only slow repair of broken bones. All these rubrics are in first grade representation. PQR6 tells us about curvature of bones, especially spine and long bones, extremities, crooked deformed bones, irregularly developed bone. So this is the diathesis for Calcaria Carb, and we get representation, curvature of bones, see the back, curvature of spine, first grade remedy, representation, back curvature of spine, cervical, back curvature of spine, dorsal region, second grade representation, and curvature of bones, especially long bones which are present in extremities, they are here. And we have second grade representation, extremities, curvature and bowing, curving and bowing, scurvy and scorbutus. It is in the generalities section. Both of these rubrics belong to second grade representation here. Now we'll see PQR7, head sweats profusely while sleeping, wetting pillow far around. And here we get the representation in the head section, head perspiration scalp night, perspiration scalp sleep during, and all these are the first grade remedy representation. Second grade remedy representation we see head perspiration scalp fitted, head perspiration scalp only on the head. Next PQR is profuse perspiration mostly on back of head and neck or chest and upper part of the body. Some corresponding rubrics you will find: head perspiration occipit second grade, back perspiration cervical region sleep in first grade representation, back perspiration cervical region first grade representation, back perspiration cervical region night second grade representation. Profuse perspiration you will find mostly, let us see, in the chest region, chest perspiration night second grade representation, and perspiration in the back second grade representation. Also we find third grade representation, back perspiration night. PQR9 tells us about difficult and delayed dentition with characteristic head sweats and open fontanelles. So here we'll get corresponding rubrics: dentition delayed, teeth dentition difficult, teeth dentition slow. Both these rubrics are in first grade remedy representation. In PQR 10, what we are going to see here is during either sickness or convalescence, great longing for eggs, craves indigestible things, aversion to meat, and we have remedy representation in stomach section, desires egg boiled, first grade remedy, stomach desire egg boiled soft, second grade representation. Desire for indigestible things we see in stomach desire indigestible things, second grade representation. Stomach desire lime, state, slate, pencil, earth, chalk, clay, etc. second grade representation. And aversion to meat, stomach reason gets first grade representation here. PQR 11 is here acidity of digestive tract, sour eructation, sour vomiting, sour stool, sour odor of the whole body. So sourness is taken up here as a generality, and here we get remedy representation in the stomach section, eructations, sour, stomach irritation, water brush, stomach heartburn, stomach vomiting sour. First grade remedy representation. Acidity in other parts. Let us see stool odor sour, urine odor sourish, extremities perspiration food offensive sour, perspiration odor sour. So all last three rubrics, they are second grade rubrics, and other rubrics, they are present in the first grade remedy representation. So this particular PQR is also very nicely represented in the Reversed Kent Repertory for this remedy. PQR 12 is girls who are fleshy, plethoric and grow rapidly, and we can get only one particular corresponding rubric. Generality is plethora. 1 plus remedy representation. PQR 13 is about menstruation too early, too profuse, too long lasting, with subsequent amenorrhea and chlorosis, with menses scanty or suppressed. So friends, let us see what are the representation. We have genitalia, female menses frequent, too early, too soon, female menses copious, female metorrhagia, all three rubrics, first grade remedy representation. For amenorrhea, genitalia female, menses absent, amenorrhea, we have second grade remedy representation. And we have for chlorosis, generalities chlorosis, we have first grade remedy representation. Menses suppressed, again we find genitalia female, menses suppressed, a second grade remedy representation. PQR 14 tells us about women. Menses too early, too profuse, already we have seen. Feet habitually cold and damp, as if they had on cold damp stockings, continually cold in bed. So here we'll get female menses frequent, too early, too soon, which we have already seen, but we'll repeat it. First grade remedy representation. And for cold feet, we have extremity section, first grade remedy representation, coldness leg icy, coldness foot evening, coldness foot evening bed in, coldness foot night, and coldness foot night bed in. One more second grade remedy representation here is coldness leg menses during. So we'll get PQR 15. The least mental excitement causes profuse return of menstrual flow. And what is the representation here? Genitalia female menses return excitement from Second grade remedy representation, genitalia, female, meteorrhagia, emotions, excitement, etc. Second grade representation we have. So let us see, friend, the next remedy, next PQR, it is PQR 16, fears she will lose her reason or that people will observe her mental confusion. For that, we'll see mind, fear, confusion that people would observe her. Second grade remedy representation, and mind, fear, insanity of is first grade remedy. PQR 17 tells us about lung diseases of tall, slender, rapidly growing youth. Upper third of right lung is involved. Oftener the guide to the constitutional remedy than phosphorus. Here, Allen's is of mind that whenever you find that the right upper lobe is involved in case of tuberculosis, and if you feel the constitution is lean, thin, tall, probably you can first give your preference to Calcaria carb rather than phosphorus. Remedy representation for lung involvement, chest inflammation, lung upper lobe, right upper lobe, first grade remedy representation, chest inflammation, lung pleura, pneumonia, inflammation pleura, which is neglected, and inflammation pleura, thiacical patients in. So this is the complete reference for us, and last four rubrics, they are in second grade remedy representation. Now we go to the PQR 18, diseases arising from defective assimilation, imperfect ossification, difficulty in learning to walk or stand. Children have no disposition to walk and will not try, suppress sweat. And we have remedy representations here. Extremities, walk, late learning to first grade. We have PQR 19, rawness of sole of feet from perspiration, blisters and offensive foot sweat. So let us see remedy representation. We get extremities, perspiration, foot excoriating, extremities, perspiration, foot, sole, making sole raw, second grade remedy representation. And eruption, foot, sole of blisters, eruptions, foot, heel, blisters, we have third grade remedy representation. Offensive foot sweat, we get second grade remedy representation in. PQR 20, longing for fresh air, which inspires, benefits, and strengthens. So we have the rubric generalities, weakness, air, fresh air ameliorates. Third grade remedy representation. PQR 21, coldness, general of single parts, hands, stomach, abdomen, feet and legs, aversion to cold open air, goes right through her, sensitive to cold damp air, great liability to take cold. And for that we will get references. Generalities, cold in general aggravates, cold air aggravates, cold becoming after aggravates, cold wet weather aggravates. So these are four rubrics which are in first grade presentation. Generalities, cold becoming aggravates, second grade representation, and again we find generalities, cold tendency to take is second grade representation here. PQR 21, coldness in general or single parts, head, stomach, abdomen, feet and legs. Let us see this particular reference. Head coldness, IC, head coldness internally, first grade remedy representation, stomach coldness, abdomen coldness, second grade representation, back coldness, cervical region, second grade representation. Extremities coldness leg, and extremities coldness leg IC, all three first grade remedy representation we find with reverse Kent repertory. PQR 22 tells us about sweat of single parts. Let us see what are the representations here. Perspiration single parts, first grade remedy. Head perspiration scalp, again first grade remedy representation. Face perspiration, first grade remedy representation. Face perspiration cold, second grade. Chest perspiration, first grade remedy. Chest perspiration axilla, second grade representation. Genitalia male perspiration scrotum, second grade. Extremities perspiration head, first grade. Extremities perspiration foot, first grade remedy. And extremities perspiration knee, second grade remedy representation. So PQR 22 has been very richly been supplemented in Kent repertory, and majority of the rubrics belong to first and second grade status. We go to the PQR 23, pit of stomach swollen like an inverted saucer and painful to pressure. We have remedy representation, stomach distension eating after, second grade, and stomach painful to pressure, pain pressure aggravates, second grade remedy representation we have. PQR 24 tells us about uremia and other diseases brought on by standing on cold damp pavement or working while standing in cold water, molders, workers in cold clay, and we have representation in reverse Kent repertory. Bladder retention cold standing on cold pavement, second grade. Urine albuminous cold and dampness from exposure to. So here urine albuminous represent nephrotic syndrome, and it covers the uremia and other diseases brought on standing on cold pavement and damp pavement. We have cough, air, damp cold aggravates, second grade. Extremities pain, lower limbs, sciatica, washing in cold water, second grade remedy representation. Chill exposure to working in working in clay, and chill exposure working in water, first grade remedy representation we find. PQR 25 tells us about better in every way when constipated, and we get generalities, constipation ameliorates, second grade remedy representation. Here we have PQR 26, stool has to be removed mechanically, and we couldn't get any suitable corresponding rubric in reverse Kent repertory. PQR 27, painless, hoarseness worse in the morning, and we find that larynx and trachea, voice, hoarseness, painless is the first grade representation here. Other similar rubrics where painlessness is present we find in extremities, paralysis, lower limbs, painless, third grade remedy representation, extremities, ulcer, ankle, painless, second grade remedy representation, extremities, extremities, varices, leg, painless, third grade remedy representation, and skin ulcers, painless, second grade remedy representation we have. And PQR 28 tells us about desire to be magnetized, and we get reference in mind section, magnetized, desire to be, and this is the first grade remedy representation. Thanks friends, thank you very much for your patient listening.